Well, hello. Gonna try and resurrect the channel. I've been on the road for a little over 3 weeks and I've just been lazy, but it's been pretty much all the same stuff you see me film before, but this is a little bit different. I'm down in Organ Pipe National Monument. This is where we lost William back in must have been 2018. And I like to come back here every year now just kind of remember him. But it's a real nice park. They have this, I think it's like 21 mile drive. And real pleasant, real quiet. So anyway, that's what this video is going to be about. Let me show you around. So I left February 25th. I was watching the weather and trying to keep a close eye on it because there have been some storms rolling across the country. And so I was watching for that high pressure area, and I found a high pressure area I could follow all the way west, cut diagonally across the whole place. But it didn't rain and it was sunny, but it had this hellacious winds. My goodness gracious, it was just tremendous. So got 12 miles a gallon all the way out west. And in the first place I stopped, well, I got stuck in San Juan for overnight. It was blowing so hard they had like 80-mile-an-hour gusts. But then I finally made it out to Don and Rena's homestead out near Vegueta, I think it's called, New Mexico. They were homesteading out there, great place. And I just stayed a couple of days because I had a reservation for my next stop. I don't do a lot of reservations. This trip I'm kind of paying for some camping. But anyway, I had reservations for a week at Faywood Hot Springs. Ended up staying an extra couple of days, even beyond that, because it was still cold. A lot of cold nights. I had to pour a gallon of vodka in my freshwater tank to keep it from freezing. But anyway, spent 9 days at Faywood. That's great. I love that place. That's just so nice. And met a young guy there, Martin, with his dog Vito Corleone. Anyway, so I ended up spending some time with him and went to Mexico for lunch a couple of times. I went by myself one day, and then I went with him down to a restaurant he knew about. That he speaks fluent Spanish, so that was kind of great. But anyway, had a real nice time before we moved on from there. Anyway, continuing on. Well, this is as quiet as it gets out here. Oh, I got a nice echo in here. That's kind of cool. Anyway, so after Faywood, I went down to Columbus, New Mexico, which is right on the border with Puerto Palomas is the Mexican town. And I stayed at Pancho Villa State Park, which I've been at before. It's a really, really good park. Awesome museum, a lot of history. The raid out with from Pancho Villa on the United States. I think it's like the only time the United States lower 48 was actually attacked by a foreign government. So anyway, that's kind of cool. But anyway, spent a couple of days there. Once again, Martin and his dog Vito came down to meet me. And like I said, we made another trip over to Mexico from there. And stayed there a while. Some friends of Martin's, Laverne and Shirley, showed up. And so we got to meet them as well. So anyway, it's been a good trip. Like I say, I've been on the road a while. Just wasn't in the mood to do videos. I don't know. It's a lot of work. But anyway, traveling on. So we left Columbus, and actually I left a few hours ahead of Martin. We thought we'd try somewhere new. So we went over to Whitewater Draw. It's a spot we've been several times, and it's Whitewater Draw wildlife area. And it's free camping for 3 days. It's kind of a ring of a little circle drive with some picnic tables and such, and there's a nasty pit toilet there, but beautiful walking area, just a great place to walk and do some hiking. And so we went there, and there we met up with Diane. She's from Wyoming, and we had some real nice dinners, the three of us, four of us with the dog. And so we did that, and I think one night we had shrimp and filet, and we made mashed potatoes and asparagus, and cracked open a couple bottles of Cabernet, and it was pretty special. And then that evening later on, Shane and Susie, I think they're locals. Maybe they'll say in the comments if they see this. I think they're from like the Tawas area or something. But they joined us for some stargazing. And Shane's a retired major from the Air Force. I think he's in navigation. Anyway, he knows his stars. So we had a real good time. I know where Pleiades is, and I don't have to make up with it. I know where Cassiopeia is anymore. So that was a lot of fun. Got the binoculars out and did some stargazing. So yeah, had a real nice time at Whitewater Draw. Okay, my first rattlesnake out here. How about this guy? I don't know, can you see him there? I don't want to get too close. Oh, he's looking mean. It's a, must be a diamondback. He's just sunning himself in the road. I'll get the telephoto lens. Stand by. Okay, he's looking angry, guys. He's looking all pissed off. He's kind of looking like he's gonna bite me. Anyway, there he is, the rattlesnake. Okay, we're gonna move on. Okay, rattlesnake's out there in the middle of the road, all coiled up now. I gotta drive over him. I got all my windows shut and the doors are locked. Here we go. Yikes! Don't get run over. I'm gonna go real slow. I don't want to run over him. He's nice looking. So, how'd we do? I don't see him. Oh, he's still in the middle of the road. He didn't move. He's just sitting there in the middle of the road, kind of coiled up and pissed off that we're disturbing the sunshine. Anyway, wow. There you go. I thought it was too early in the year for those things, so that's pretty cool. All right, we're continuing on. So up to this point, I've been kind of walking around video and talking to you guys, not paying much attention, but I think I'll watch where I step. Anyway, where was I? Whitewater Draw. Okay. So left Whitewater Draw, and I was going to head here to Organ Pipe. But it was a long drive. It wasn't long, but longer than I wanted to drive. So I stopped just outside of Tucson at Snyder Hill BLM, which is right near the city. Real popular, lots of folks there, but it was really quiet. It was easy in, not much trash, actually very little. And friendly people there kind of told me it's usually pretty quiet, and it was. So, yeah, it was, I had a real good night. Got up from there and then come across, I think it's 85. The road is deteriorated asphalt. It's not that it's really rough, but it's loud. I had to put on my noise-canceling headphones. So anyway, got over here, stopped in at the Why Not gas station, got some gas, came down here, and I'm gonna be here 2 nights. So this is, I think this is Tuesday. It's something like the 13th of March, I think. Something like that. Anyway, I'm going to be here 2 nights. And then we'll have to see from there where we go. But anyway, enjoying the trail. So after this, I think I'll head tentatively, my tentative schedule, not to get in a rush. I hate that. Sometimes I do that. But I think what I'm going to do is go from here, maybe over to Fortuna Pond, and then I got to decide whether I go to Senator Wash and then up through California to maybe Cibola and Hippie Hole. Or do I go up, what's out of Quartzsite? 95, is it? Must be. Anyway, maybe stop at Fortuna and then go up and see Spiral Labyrinth and then get into Quartzsite and visit some friends there. So, who knows? But that's not going to be in this video. You're going to have to watch for the next one if I make one. But otherwise, I hope you enjoyed this one and my special guest star, my first rattlesnake. So I'll see you guys down the road. Good morning. Okay, this is the next day. I don't know if this is going on the end of the other video or in a new video. So it could be either way. Anyway, yesterday I did A Hill Mountain Drive in Oregon Pipe Cactus National Monument, and today we're doing, that was like 21 miles. Today we're doing a longer 37-mile Puerto Blanco mountain drive, or whatever it is. Anyway, it's the other drive around the park. So I'll show you some of that, and we'll see how it goes. All right, we're off like a herd of turtles. So, Puerto Blanco Drive. This is, oh, it's Pi Day, March 14th. Bill Cook sent me a note about that. That's right. So, what are we going to talk about today? I already told you where I was. You're sick of hearing that kind of nonsense. Let's talk about the West. I was born in the very late 40s, 49, November. So I'm qualified. But anyway, in the 50s, my parents loved to come out here. This is one of their favorite trips. They weren't campers, but in the 50s, they had all the little mom and pa cabins and things like that throughout the West. There were no expressways back then either, so it was all pretty slow travel. Anyway, I went on a couple of them, but mostly they'd say, you want to go to Granny's? You know, because she'd spoil the heck out of me. And they were young. They wanted to be alone out west. So pretty good times, I guess. I had a great time at Granny's. We'd walk down the street in Ferndale to the bread store and the meat store and kind of old-fashioned stuff. Anyway, that's where I kind of came to like it out here, because I did go on a few trips with them, and we went to a dude ranch once, and it was in Montana, and they rented a cabin there, and there were some horses. We went on a long horseback ride up into the mountains. As I recall, I was young. I must have been, gosh, I don't know, 6 or 7, whenever you start to remember stuff anyway. And but I do remember my horse's name was Bosco. So anyway, that was a good trip. I got knocked off the horse once. It was great. I lived. So yeah, I like it out here. Always have. Anyway, on with the drive. So there. Anyway. Do not travel alone. But I'm with you guys. We'll see what happens. So the sign said high ground clearance vehicle. Well, I gotta tell you, it's quiet out here. So, I think I really started thinking about the desert as an adult probably when I was in my early 20s. I read Ed Abbey, Desert Solitaire. He was, it's a book about his experiences, more or less, in Arches National Monument, where he was working as a ranger. And he talks about how it changed over the years. You know, when he was first there was no tourists, the roads were all like this one I'm traveling on now, you know, kind of gravel and rough, and kind of kept everybody away. But then it changed as time went on, and that's true. We first did this trip with the little ProLite trailer. I did it in 17. I went around the whole country. And the following year in 18, Irene and I spent about 3 months out here. Went to the RTR and then through the desert. Irene doesn't like the desert, but that's why I'm here by myself. But anyway, even since then, I think quite a bit. It's changed. Probably the pandemic got a lot of folks on the road. Some hard times. I know a lot of friends that are nomads live out here permanently, folks homesteading and traveling around. Probably a few of you that have seen this video or seeing this video are doing that. But yeah, so it's changed a lot. It changes all the time. So I guess the story to changing all the time is go. You guys ought to come out here. It's as quiet and it's as peaceful as any place you're going to be. So I like it a lot. So anyway, back down the road. So I'm getting the picture that this road goes all the way around that big old mountain over there. It's going to take a while. I'm going to run out of things to talk about. So I am currently 73 years old. And I retired when I was 64. And that was under protest. Irene was really hounding me to retire. But I waited. It's a big mistake. Don't. As soon as you can go, absolutely, as soon as you are ready to retire, hit the road. Or retire. Do what you want to do. Do your hobbies. Do whatever you think you should. But, life is short. And I think this business of waiting to retire until you're 70, I think the government or somebody, I hate to be paranoid or preachy or whatever, but I think it's just, keep you working as long as possible. I'm going to tell you the truth. It just doesn't take as much money as you think it's going to. Boy, look at the flowers here. Off track. Look at this. You can smell. This looks like almost like hyacinth. I guess it's hyacinth. One of you guys can tell me. Is that a hyacinth? I don't know. I don't know what it is, but you can really smell it. Boy, the hill here. Look at all that. Just starting to bloom around here. So it's springtime. Gosh, that's great. So anyway, what was I saying? Retire. I'm coming up on 10 years. And listen to that. I can just hear a bird in the distance. There's this meadow here. Look at this. This is one of the quietest places I've ever been. Look at the trees here. I gotta go slow. I'm watching for rattlesnakes after yesterday. Look at this here. There's a bird sitting in the top of that cactus right in the middle of the frame. He's the one making all the noise. Well, that's pretty good. Anyway, so not to be a nuisance, when you can, retire. All right, enough of the lecture, back on the road. If you need help, push the red button. Rescue personnel will arrive shortly to help you. Do not leave this area. Now that's interesting. That's something you don't see every day. Even a nice picnic table. Place to sit down and relax while you're waiting for the rescue team. Do not enter. Uh-oh. Wow, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Content, as they say in the YouTube world. What's this? Danger. No entree. Oh, look at that. You can't see down in there. I mean, I can't see either. It's a mine. Look at that. That's pretty cool. So, yeah. Huh. You never know what you're going to come across. So, anyway, there you go. There's the rescue tower. Huh. All right. I think I'll sit on the bench here. Take a little break. Oh, yeah. This is a long drive. Anyway. I like the quiet. Somebody told me I talk too much in my videos anyway. Don't get me started.